Hello and welcome. Hey, guess what? It's new bike day at my house. But I'm betting that you already guessed that, having seen this Mongoose box. But before I show you what's in there, I want to show you this. This is my 2019 Mongoose Dolomite. It's a steel frame bike that I bought for $279 2 years ago. And with the various upgrades I've made to it, I've got, I don't know, about $440 tied up into it. But I really like this bike. In fact, I liked it so much, I bought the sequel. This, folks, is my 2021 Dolomite ALX. Presumably the AL stands for aluminum. The X could be extra or extreme or, who knows. Marketing, what are you going to do? I tend to think of it in my mind as the Dolomite 2.0. Now, I got this bike for $498 delivered. And compared to the old steel Dolomite with the upgrades, it's a pretty darn good deal. Now, one of the first things that I noticed when I picked it up out of the box was how much less it weighs than the steel version. In fact, this bike is rated at 36 pounds versus 43 pounds for the steel version. That, my friends, is a significant difference. The entire frame is hydroformed aluminum, and so is the fork. And all the welds are pretty darn good. I checked them over pretty carefully, and I didn't find any glitches or errors or anything like that. As you can see, the frame is matte silver with black decal graphics. So those could be peeled off if you wanted to have a stealthier look. I don't mind them, but I don't like the idea of them peeling and then looking kind of shoddy. So when it warms up a little bit outdoors, I'm probably going to hit the frame with a coat of matte clear just to lock down the graphics. Now, this bike has an 18-inch medium-sized frame. Yes, that's right, I said medium because, unlike Dolomites of the past, the ALX comes in small, medium, and large, which is 17, 18, and 19 inches respectively. That's kind of a big deal for big box bikes. Now, the standover height on this medium is 270 millimeters, measured at the bottom bracket. That is more than enough clearance for my 32-inch inseam. The bike is motivated with a 2x riveted crankset, which has 170 millimeter cranks and 22 by 36 tooth chain rings. I had to stop and think about that for a second. The pedals are the same knobbly plastic ones that came stock on both my steel Dolomite and the Mongoose XR Pro, which I used to have. So I guess this pedal is pretty much par for the course for the Mongoose bikes. One thing that's interesting is the bottom bracket on this is not the old style lock ring bottom brackets like on the steel Dolomite. It looks like it might possibly be a sealed square taper bottom bracket. Now, I'm not going to take the bike apart right now to find out if that's the case. Maybe later, we'll see. Tires, front and rear, 26-inch by 4-inch Arisons with the somewhat politically incorrect name of Big Fatty 26. I mean, who names these things, Anyway, the rims are drilled aluminum to save some weight, unlike the solid steel rims on the steel Dolomite. And both the front and rear of the ALX have quick release hubs instead of bolts like the steel Dolomite does. The discs are cable actuated with no-name calipers, front and rear. The front disc is 180 millimeters in diameter, and the rear is 160 millimeters. The cockpit has a 270 millimeter aluminum handlebar with, decent slip-on rubber grips. The stem is unlabeled, and I measured it at 85 millimeters. And the brake levers have alloy housings and levers, so that's kind of a step up as well from the plastic and alloy levers on the steel Dolomite. The shifters are microshift 2x8s operating a microshift M26 rear derailleur and a microshift FD M426 front derailleur. The gearing is comprised of an 11 to 34 tooth 8-speed cassette. And yes, I said cassette, not freewheel. This is also kind of a big deal for big box bikes, moving towards cassettes rather than freewheels. I mean, they both work, but the cassette is a lot more versatile. And while I'm not planning to do so anytime soon, theoretically, I could upgrade to at least a 10-speed, possibly an 11, depending upon the configuration of the free hub body. But for now, 8 speeds is fine. So all in all, I am pretty happy with this purchase. And if I have half as much fun with the ALX as I have had with the steel Dolomite, man, I'm just going to be grinning like a fool all summer long. If you enjoyed this video, there is a link below left for a playlist for the steel Dolomite, and below right is a link to another video that I think you'll enjoy. And as always, thanks a lot for watching. Sincerely, I appreciate that when you do. Goodbye, and have a great day.